size fits all has become the default standard for women who simply want to feel not only comfortable in their clothes, but confident. And I feel like they are constantly getting put on the bottom shelf of clothing suppliers. Despite the many clothing brands claiming to be inclusive to women of all sizes and, even offering extended sizes, we are constantly seeing those said extended sizes not being in store, not being stocked online, giving plus size women limited options. Where is the accountability in their mission statement? Their words are seemingly hollow with no true substance, and unfortunately this has been the case for decades. I personally believe that enough is genuinely enough and sufficient work needs to be put in place to rectify these situations. I've had the pleasure of talking to a couple of women who are really important in my life about this issue, and this documentary is about them, and it's for women just like them, women like me. During the making of this documentary, I sought to understand the experiences that plus-size women go through when it comes to finding clothing. I wanted a different perspective than my own. And what I found is that a lot of people have a lot of different takes. And that's okay.
So it's like those standard size kind of present themselves as trendy, youthful, kind of fashion forward, stylish, intentional, right? Where then you get to the plus size rack and it's kind of frumpy and flowery and misshapen, and like an afterthought.
Like an afterthought. Why is that? I was on a mission to figure out why.
Okay. So I feel like as a plus size girl, it's kind of hard to find clothing, especially like clothing that like pays attention to like your hips and everything, or even goes past your thighs, because a lot of the companies aim for like people that are like skinny or like slim, thick built, and it's like not everybody's like that, and they don't account for that. And then they also like, even when they model the clothes, it's always like that. And then I feel like in some aspect it kind of discriminates against the people that are built different from the ideal body and everything like that. And then in order to find like clothes that are catered to your size, you have to actually go to a store or some kind of store that has something that complements your hips and everything like that. And then sometimes you don't want to go to those stores. Sometimes your outfit that you want may be at like Ross or like H&M or something like that. Cause like even at H&M, like I saw this, I want to get this pair of jeans. They're like a 14 or 16, and then what's it called? They didn't fit. They didn't even go past my thigh, and that's the actual size I am. And so it just felt like they were lying about the true size, because I know I'm a size 16, and they weren't working. So it's like you're basing your measurements off the wrong kind of people.
Now, Destiny brought up a really good point that's really got me thinking. What is up with all of the discrepancies in plus size clothing? Why is it that when I go to one place, a size 14 fits just fine, and when I hop over to another store, all of a sudden it's an issue? Well, Destiny isn't the only one that has this concern. All hail Miss Queen Samira, social media influencer known for posting body positivity and holding these big fashion industries accountable. Her work is making strides, and so is her music. Bye-bye.
Plus sizes. They said big bag bitch, get to the bag. They said big bag bitch, you want a snack? Well, this big bag bitch, she got the stack. So put big bag bitch clothes on the rack. Ooh, on the macaroni, move and shake it for me. Ooh, we shaking and quaking. The brands are phony. Ooh, the brands are phony. Ooh, they need a Tony. They need a Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, cause the shit's baloney. The way they be faking like they're making all the sizes. If you ain't got at least a 4X, you ain't trying. Ooh, so give it to us, baby. Give us a got. Give it to us when we step on the spot. Ooh, bye-bye, 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 bye.
Now, I might not be no Samira, but I will tell you this girl has been out there showing up for the plus size girlies, making a difference. Truly someone I admire. In fact, I even took out the time to send her a response, asking for her to respond to some of my questions for this interview. However, she's a busy woman and she failed to respond. But nevertheless, her account proves that she is more than qualified to stand up and promote inclusivity for all plus size girlies out there. Bye-bye. Now, like I said, Samara has been making strides to become an advocate for the plus size community when it comes to clothing industry. And similar to a point that Destiny had made when finding discrepancies against sizes within the clothing industry, Samara actually decided to put this theory to the test. So let's take a look.
An XXL is not a plus size. And if you don't believe me, that's why I'm in the fitting room trying on both an XXL and a 2X in the same outfit. Let's start with the XXL.
The skirt is giving no stretch. Ooh, it's a little tight in the legs already. Ooh.
FBI, open up!
Let's go over the head. Stuff this hip like this. Oh. Uh-oh, it's a little tight nose.
Now, I don't believe this is the intended fit, but this is the XXL. Let's put on the 2X.
Already seen a lot more stretch in the skirt of the 2X. Y'all. And for the top.
Why is the head part bigger? This is the 2X. This is a plus size. This is the XXL, and this is not a plus size.
You know, the worst part about this issue is that it isn't even solely dealing with women's clothing. You see the same thing popping up in the men's section too. I talked to a good friend of mine named Caleb. He told me a bit about his story.
There's been countless times where I find clothes that like I want to wear, but like they're not in my size, and so it's like it's hard for me to feel like I can pull off that look.
And do you feel that your opinions or your options are limited in comparison to straight size counterparts?
Most definitely. It's like I still have to go to like specific locations to find certain things, and it's like, yeah, like more people are starting to make more clothes around like that size, but it's not as much as it should, in my opinion.
While speaking to Ms. Catrice, it occurred to me that this issue runs far deeper than just the fashion industry. What other industries play a part in keeping those who are plus size and obese oppressed?
Hard for me to put that solely on its shoulders or on its front door because there's so many contributing factors from several industries that kind of have converged to create our current condition. Like you can't really answer this question to me without talking about the food industry. Like the food industry and the clothing industry are directly and deeply connected, So you have changes in food processing, changes in dietary habits and recommendations and portion size, that all create, larger bodies and vanity sizing and all of these things. So the clothing industry responds. Even before that, when we took home ec out of the public school curriculum, then all of a sudden, we lose basic survival skills and self-sufficiency that left us more dependent on what I call like disposable consumerism, like clothing, right?
I grew up seeing women of all shapes and sizes my entire life, so being plus size is nothing new to me. I, in fact, am a plus size woman, and I've even been on the larger side when it comes to sizing. And when I had got to that size, I was not the most confident and comfortable version of myself. And knowing that the clothes that I once could wear, I could no longer wear, and the style of clothes that I wore were no longer available in the size that had fit this new body that I grew into. For the majority of my teen years, I was forced into believing that in order to be the best version of myself or to be accepted by society that I had to lose weight. But one day something clicked in me. It's not about the weight that's lost, it's about the experiences that are made. I should be able to love myself at whatever size that I'm at. I should not stop myself from being goofy around the people that I love or from dancing just because I may have been bigger than I may have been used to. And I noticed that when I stopped taking weight loss so seriously and actually enjoyed life, I was able to relish in the moment. And that's when I found my true self. Enjoy life and love your body. If I've learned anything doing this entire documentary, it's that you only get one body. It serves many purposes. And I learned that from a really special woman.
And I think the key to not have my body image or my self-esteem disaffected is that I have to really take care of my internal dialogue. I have to know who I am and know my value and my worth. I have to take every thought captive, because a thought will pop in there and say, "Oh, girl, your thigh's too big." But I'm like, you know what? Hold up. I love my body, no matter what size it is. My body has carried my life, all of my life. How do you disrespect that? My body has given life. My body has been in car wrecks. My body has been near death and come back. My body has, comforted other people with a hug. My body has held my life and has been the channel through which life has come. My body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. So I can't sit here and say, "Ugh, my body, I hate my body." How dare I hate my body? I'm living because my body is working for me, so I can go out there and live the life that it contains.
These women have taught me so much. They were able to express their fears, their concerns, the things that they praised about the fashion industry, but overall, the overarching consensus is that work is yet to be done. Work still needs to be done within the industry and within all the industries that play a part. This industry, it's one that needs work, but there are plenty of people and willing hands that want to help. It starts with us, and let's make a change, whether you're a size 4 or 24.